Crypto holders, this is it. Bitcoin's price has now officially reached the golden zone of support, and I'm under the belief that what happens at this zone of support is going to determine the fate in the future of not only just Bitcoin, but the entire crypto market for what could be the next year to a year and a half. So this is a very important moment, so stop whatever you're doing and pay very close attention because I'm going to tell you exactly what is going on, why it's so important, and most especially what you need to be watching right now. So without further ado, let's not waste any time at all, and let's get straight into it. So if you don't know what the Fibonacci golden zone is, what I do ask you to do is take a quick pause and go to a video that I posted just 2 days ago. It's titled "This Free Crypto Tool Changed My Life." And in that video, I explained what the golden zone is and how important it is. But for those of you who are just going to keep watching this video, just know this. This gold box right here that ranges between $91.3 thousand and $83,000 is the most important level of support on Bitcoin's chart right now from a structural perspective. And it is the strongest level of support right now on the Bitcoin price right now from a structural perspective. And knowing that, it means that Bitcoin is about to have a major decision to make. If Bitcoin's price is capable of using this golden zone and establishing support, using that support to continue back upwards, we easily could see Bitcoin's price push all the way back up to $108,000 or maybe even back up to $115,000. Now, pushing all the way back up to an all-time high will be much more difficult right now, of course, but it is still very possible. That's how strong this golden zone of support is. But knowing this and knowing how strong this support is, listen to me very closely. If Bitcoin's price falls below this golden zone, which ranges between, again, $91,000 and $83,000, the likelihood that we are entering into a more macro downtrend and a macro bear market becomes the higher probability. Okay? What does that mean? It means that a bear market, if that's what you want to call it, or a macro downtrend, which is what most analysts call it, is much, much more likely if Bitcoin falls below $83,000. Now, you may say, Tyler, why? And this is the simple reasoning. When a crypto falls below the golden zone, it is incredibly likely that that crypto is then going to retrace back down to the low in which created the golden zone. And if you watch my tutorial on it, you know that that is this low right here at $75,000. And so that means that if a crypto like Bitcoin was to fall below 83K, it is incredibly likely that it starts to capitulate all the way back down to $74,000. And I'm under the belief that in moments during bull markets, when Bitcoin retreats all the way back down to structural lows, the likelihood of the bull market being over starts to become much, much higher. Okay, there has not been one time that I could find in history that Bitcoin has gone all the way back down to its previous structural low and the bear market was not here. Okay, I've not found that one time. And then you mix in the fact that, yes, we would have fallen below the 50 EMA and the 50 MA. You would have started to notice that basically all of our indicators full reset. It's a reasonable case. It is like, yeah, okay, yeah, we're probably in some sort of bear market. This is the trigger. Okay, this is the moment, right? I mean, go look at history. For example, Bitcoin's price, it came all the way back down towards lows. Yes, it's seen pullbacks. Yes, it's seen corrective moments. But what it's never done is fallen below structural lows. It's never come all the way back down to a big low. Let's just call it, make it very simple words, a big low. Yeah, it's never, not once, come back down to a structural low, a big low, if we're going to simplify these words down a little bit, and not entered into some sort of macro downtrend, some sort of macro bear market. The only thing that stands in the way of Bitcoin's price coming all the way back down to this previous low right here is this golden zone right here. But the good news is this is a very, very strong zone of support. I mean, it is about as strong as it gets. And so what does that mean? It means that we have a good chance still. We have a decent sized chance of Bitcoin being able to use this zone of support and at least trying to give us a try back upwards. Does that mean that Bitcoin's going to full recover all the way to new all-time highs after this? No, I don't know. We'll have to see. That's becoming much less likely these days, right? The odds of us just super extending up to an all-time high is becoming much harder. Okay, I'm not going to say less likely. It's just becoming much harder. Okay, which I guess naturally will make it a little bit less likely. But it does have a decent sized chance of using this zone to recover. For example, one thing that I have noticed many times here for Bitcoin is that what it likes to do is it likes to come back down to macro golden zone support and then use that support to push back up to topside golden zone resistance, right? So in Bitcoin's example, that easily could push it back up to say $110,000 or $116,000. That's well within the realm of possibility. I mean, go look at what's happening. Our daily RSI is now overextended and at the lowest level that it's been in since February of 2025. I mean, in previous before that, the only time it even got that low was in August of 2024. So we've only ventured this low 2 times in over 1 year. You look at the weekly RSI, this thing is now at the lowest level that it's been in since January of 2023, nearly the lowest level that it's been at since 2022, guys. When you look at your Bollinger Bands on the weekly time frames, which is absolute madness, guys. I mean, look at this. Absolute madness. We are fully extended outside of the weekly Bollinger Bands. We've only done that like 4 times in the last like 4 years. We did it right here. We fully extended. We did it right here. We fully extended. We didn't fully extend right here. We barely fully extended right here before seeing a bit of recovery. Now, sure, there were moments in the bear market where we fully extended, but look how even in the bear market, we were getting these moments of recovery after these full extensions. And that's kind of what I'm picking up on here, is that I feel like it is very likely and very reasonable to assume that since we're now at such a major zone of support, a macro zone of support between $91,000 and $83,000, that there is a good chance that we try to get some sort of recovery off this level. And I think retesting back up towards 100K could be very, very possible. And so with that in mind, it just goes to show the sheer duality of this, right? It is a very binary situation. It's like if Bitcoin holds support, it easily can recover back upwards. If Bitcoin falls below this at any given point, that's not good. And we all need to accept that we are back most likely 85% chance in some sort of bear market. Simple as that. I would say the odds are 55-45 right now. I think we have a 55% chance of pushing back up towards the top side, getting close to a 50, right? 55% chance we push back up to the top side. I would say there's about a 40% chance that Bitcoin pushes all the way back up above the all-time high, right? I don't think that's the more likely scenario right now, at least. And I think there's about a 45 to 50% chance that Bitcoin breaks down through this level. So this is a coin flip, and it is a very, very important coin flip, okay? And I need you to watch this incredibly closely. Now, you may wonder, well, Tyler, what should we do right now, right? Like, what's the move knowing that Bitcoin's price is now on such a key level of support? Well, you already know what I'm going to say. I'm a firm advocate that the absolute best thing that you can do right now, whether we are or are not in a bear market, is to be buying at the strongest levels of support. Map out the strongest levels of support and buy at those levels of support. Why? Because those are the levels that are most likely to give you gains. Simple as that. Buy at the levels that are most likely to give you gains. Is that not the main thing to do here? Are we not trying to buy low and sell high? Well, guess what? When should you buy low? When you have the highest chance of going back up, of course, naturally. And I know I'm speaking like a second grader, but you have to get the point. And so naturally, knowing that this is such a very, very strong zone of support, I've gone and I've done a buy. Matter of fact, if we actually head over to my channel over on the Discord server, what you can see is that a little while ago, I made a post that said, at everyone, my first large Bitcoin buy order and over 1 year triggered at $90,000 a few hours ago, golden zone support. And so what we can see is that I actually did go in and I had a buy order set in at 90K, which I explained to you in the previous video, or 3 videos ago maybe. And it went in. It was the first large buy that I've done in over a year. Matter of fact, the last time I did a large buy on Bitcoin was right whenever we dropped to right around these levels right here. I don't do these large buys. I don't do these, or nearly a year, half a year or so. I don't do large buys. I just don't like to do large buys. I only do large buys when I think there's a very good reason to do it. I remember back here, the reason I did it was because we were approaching this previous point of resistance. I thought we could flip it into support because we were seeing all of these indicators start to flash. I remember we got this little divergence here on the RSI. I was like, yeah, I'll do a little bit of a purchase. Boom, large buy went in, then we rallied, right? And so this is the first large buy I've done in nearly 7-8 months or so, okay? And so I've done a big purchase here, and I'm going to just chill now. I did a really big purchase. Now I'm going to chill, sit back, wait, watch, okay? That's the best thing to do right now. Sit back, wait, watch. So I'll keep you updated as all of this plays out. Before I actually get into the next little segment where I talk about what I'm doing with my altcoins, I actually did want to let you guys know as well. You see how I did talk about what I was doing over here, what buys I was doing? If you don't know what this is the crypto school. And in the crypto school, what we do is we have myself and other creators and coaches post our buys and our sells and our thoughts and our insights and advice, all for you guys to get access to every single day. Now, in addition to that, you get daily analysis, you get trade signals, you get so much more. If I actually head over to the Watt page itself, you can see there's an entire course which teaches you about creating a strategy that's designed for you. If you want to be an active day trader, there's a 20-hour course. If you want to just be a passive investor, I have an over 20-hour course as well where you can learn how to be a passive investor and what all that looks like. And there's also beginner courses. I mean, there's so much here. I mean, you can even see this here. There's a beginner's course on how crypto is and how it works. There's so much. It's an absolutely insane place to go. And for 5 of you who are watching this video right now, since the market's in a rough spot, when you go to checkout, if you type in code NOV18, like November 18th, 5 of you are going to get 20% off. Okay, so go to the link down below. Feel free to go check it out. But it is one of the best servers on earth. I mean, just go look at the gains. Like, even on a day like today or a day like yesterday or this weekend, we still have people absolutely printing hundreds of percentages in gains because they have the strategies designed to do so. So if you want a strategy to be able to win in a market like this, head to the link down below. But anyway, so that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing with Bitcoin. That's my current game plan. That's the structure. I did a large buy. Now that we're back in the golden zone, sit back, wait, and watch. Now, how does that apply to my altcoins? That means that I don't really do anything with my altcoins, okay? I may do some small stuff here and there, right? Like there's actually a couple small pre-sales that I don't really want to pay attention to, but if they're good enough, yeah, I'd be willing to throw it in. Or maybe there's a couple small micro caps that if they're good enough, I'll throw it in. Or maybe if Ethereum just really hard crashes and it's so good that I can't avoid it, I'll buy a little bit and I'll just kind of throw it in. But I'm not doing anything big. I'm not making any big moves with my altcoins right now because I know what happens here. I know if Bitcoin's price capitulates through this golden zone, it gets ugly. It gets ugly for Bitcoin. It gets ugly for altcoins. And I don't want to be positioning too heavily into altcoins right now, knowing the risk that's on the table, right? I just don't think that's a fantastic idea. So my game plan here is I've only bought Bitcoin, and if I see an opportunity I can't pass up with ETH or with Solana or whatever it may be, yeah, sure, I'll go in. I'm just not seeing that right now, and so I'm not really super interested right now, okay? So I'll keep you updated. If I notice anything, I'll make a video about it. You guys know me. But outside of that, I'm not doing anything with alts. I'm focused on Bitcoin. I did a large buy here, and what happens at this golden zone, guys, I'm telling you, is going to be incredibly important. So I'll keep you all updated as it does play out. But in the meantime, do not forget that 5 of you are going to get 20% off at the school if you want to check out the link down below. And if while you are down there as well, if you did enjoy today's video, hit that little like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.